My daddy made it out.
This one is a song by Damian Marley, the Junior Gong, and of course son to the legendary Bob Marley, the greatest reggae icon of all times. This one is a song called Living It Up, taking us to 17 minutes past 5 o'clock. And this is the Traffic Jam Show, and I am Victor Dafris. And I'm so glad to know that you are tuned in. It's going to be a great time. And shortly, I shall have a chat with Malu, the comedian. Like I did mention that I will have a conversation with this young voice impressionist who is a third-year student at the Mzuzu University. So do stand by for that chat. Otherwise, all you have to do is do keep it capital. Hello, Malu. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well, thanks. How is Mzuni?
Mzuni is doing great. I don't know that place.
This side is very fine. So I'm here to understand your art. I'm here to understand your comedy and the inspiration behind it. But for starters, perhaps people do not know who Malumbo Ngaye is. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Malumbo Ngaye. I'm a comedian. And actually, I'm from Mangoji. My home district is Mangoji. But right now, I'm living in Branta. I started doing comedies when I was in secondary school. From 2, I think. Yeah, we had a group called Like St. Josie, and we were doing this at church services.
The social media circles know you as a voice impressionist, and I came to know you as a voice impressionist and less of you as a comedian. I haven't had an opportunity to get to appreciate your art in comedic sense, but let us talk about you as a voice impressionist. I want to get to the bottom of it. What inspired you to start doing voice impressions, particularly of those influential people in Malawi? What was the inspiration?
Actually, as I have already said, never comedy in secondary, and I had this. I had the art troupe. I had Madiana school, but it was in the school that time. His name was his name is Mr. Ruben. Then the Maswabanga. And then when we do my together, I'm not I want to try something new. Then I pick up someone who of higher level. And people like I say, you really need to do that. Would be easy. Actually, now I'm from 2, but I'm going to say that I had to actually,
I want to understand your creative process. I mean, how do you choose which individuals to impersonate? Would you just meet me for the first time and then the next 2 hours you're able to understand how I speak, my vocal projection? Would you be able to do an impression of my voice, or you have got a specific criteria that you do follow for you to choose a particular individual to do an impression for?
Actually, I cannot say I've got a criteria that I use, but then it just happens that I'm interested in your voice, because people, as a comedian, my goal is to make people laugh, and people like to think that they were not expecting that it might happen. First of all, I pick people who are of high level, just because people are not expecting a person like me to speak like another person. Then they might say, well, they don't know this voice with anger, and they might be anger. So this is my very they already this voice I can use, and people can at least laugh from that. They might say that okay. And you know, if you do the perfect, at least I try. That's what matters.
Interesting. Can you share some memorable reactions you have received from your audience when performing your voice impressions, particularly those that we are able to say that, I think he's trying to sound like so and so and so and so. What has been the reaction generally?
There was a general assembly here at Mzuzu University. After speaking to my officials and people were like, from nowhere. And then I consecutive. So just felt like if I have a comedian, I had to go. Because with some two words, I need to know around. anasangana kwambiri. That is those memories are like my favorite memories in this career, because tukamba kumene sinabude kweni ya.
Chabwino ndimafunanso ndimvesese kuti ndi mavuto ati or the challenges that you have faced in your journey as a young comedian as well as a voice impressionist, especially the unique context of Malawi. Makamaka ku Malawi kunoko, this art is kind of rare. Si luso limene anthu ambiri amakhala akulionesa ku Malawi kunoko, sinanga makhaso mukusatizira muna kuyankhula kwa anthu andale. Yes, so I wanted to understand if there are any challenges that you have encountered, impersonating or doing voice impressions of people, some of them powerful people in Malawi. What are the challenges that you have faced along the way?
There are a lot of challenges as Malawi. I mean, I would say comedians, and the Neo personally, there are a lot of challenges because the comedy in Malawi is not given that much attention. And the support many mutuma pesa magama comedy because tutaona kuti let's take example kuti timange compare ndima upcoming musicians. They've got platforms, they've got people, they've got a lot of sponsorship. Really makala ilipo kuti atandizile wacha kuti tulei their message at the top kuti atapaka akafika awamva. Mbe bezoti toza ma comedians they were never given that chance in Malawi muno kunene kuti tomaji that into mpaka kumadalira kuti I'm doing some kind of art. There is a different one being ma comedians metu kumana na kuti support you might have. Also in my opinion, I'm a person who impersonates other people. So we say I'm kuchita mantha kuti zikume monenga rimwe sometimes kwa anthu amene ndakula kuwanja. Abuzodi ena akundida ine just because not kundida ine koma kuda voice mende kuitusa. Time ine there was a mantha ena tazina kudega kumene tazina just there's a lot of challenges that I'm facing as a comedian. Commando, whenever I'm doing things, some of the challenges in the commando, at least
I've got this question that I wanted you to answer me candidly. I mean, comedy can be a powerful tool for, social commentary. Do you incorporate any social or political satire into your performances? And if so, I mean, how do you navigate potentially sensitive topics? Kani zimene umazigunda kumotani sinangopena mapezoti kusatizira kuyankhula amene andale amayankhulira ngati pamakhala ma issues ena ndiye nokhuza Malawi okhuza anthu iweyo. How do you tackle those issues using your art as a voice impressionist?
As a comedian, I have to look at my audience. There are people that are in Malawi and they're affected each and every day about a lot of things that are happening here in Malawi, being it socially or politically. As a comedian, I have to address those things in a comedic way to say, at the same time, I have to lay a message to how am I viewing the thing, because there's a little bit of creativity that I have to put in. When I would be introducing the gamba at the same time you put it whenever I'm tackling sensitive issues, I should be in the position to say no one will blame me. Everyone will understand that I'm a comedian and I'm doing this for my audience and my people in Malawi. As a comedian, I'm a patriotic person. I love Malawi. And I won't stay beside when some things are happening. Because a lot of people in Malawi, they've got a wrong idea of politics. For example, many one in aspect of politics. Team of politics. That's why I'm a manta who are through their politics. Just because of the manta in Fred Mama guys, let him that comedy. Comedians. They should be able to talk about politics. Affecting each and every day life in a comedic way at our sake.
At any point, been approached by the followers of the people that whose voice you do impressions on. I'll give you an example. In the United States, there's a guy called Jay Pharoah. Jay Pharoah does impressions of many celebrities, and he does them perfectly. He has done voice impressions of President Barack Obama. He has done impressions of Jay-Z, influential people like Kanye West, Kevin Hart. And there was a point Barack Obama actually invited Jay Pharoah and then had a one-on-one conversation, and then he told him, speak like me. Let us have a conversation as if Barack is having a conversation with Barack. Such type of a liberty that is experienced by artists in the other parts of the world. I wanted to be taken to Malawi, have you ever been approached by anyone whose voice you do impressions on? Has that ever happened to you before?
Yeah, actually, yes. For example, I do mimic the His Excellency, the president of this country. There are some followers of him, many of high tables. This is nice because I'm a Sangana. So actually, in person, as the president has never approached me, but I'm looking forward to meeting him because I need to do something to be young man now because personally I'm a fan of him.
So I didn't want to make an insinuation that the voice that you famed to do impressions on is the voice of the president. I wanted it to come from you to say that the voice is for the president. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you have said it, that you have done voice impressions of the president of this country. I mean, how does it feel to try to sound like the head of state?
Actually, it feels nice, but as a comedian, I don't take this as a big issue to be goody or should be living on that because I have a lot of other voices that I do. I tried this other day speaking like the former president of this country, and the people were not interested to be my because just because I'm hey, other people can do that. They I'm not like because like I'm against someone. No, I'm a comedian. You have to venture wherever I feel like venturing.
Now, as we wind up, I would want you to, since you said you can do impressions of four influential people in the country, in the interest of time, I won't tell you who, but do a little bit of a voice impression of the most famous person that you know in Malawi, so that people should be able to tell that I'm speaking to an artist here. Can you say anything? Okay, let me connect this to the function that you have. You're saying that you have got a college tour, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very college tour.
Yes. So ndifuna ndiyankhulire nchichewa komanso ndi chizungu. Sindifuna ndikupangisa just ndiyankhule ngati ndani. Address the people, address the nation, and then tell them that you have got a function.
Mazange maringa mbena numa polinga le mena jiko luyende nona kuti no yankule popeza nena kuti pato kasiti ngati there's mama njanayo kama noti gwane manje tomse pamodzi nkuchita zinthuzi kama no pali program imitayikiza nena kuti tifuna tiyende koma kuyendera chinyamata zathu msukulu zonse zakachenjeni ndalibe ukambirana ndi wena kunena kuti koma kanizo limene lili bwino kwa basi because you got a lot of objectives to achieve nena kuti there are a lot of still objectives. For example, we can talk about massive change and in the youth. Nena kuti wanyamara wambiri wamapezeka nena kuganizo nena kuti life starts at 30. Zomweni zabocha moyo umapa tawi neli yose mene nyamata usindigira nena kuti apapa ichi nchabwino komanso chinchoipa ndipo ona ichi matiki yende koma ulingalira unena kuti tikambe nawo nyamata awo nena kuti tasentani apa takunzani apa komanso massive change maka mental health problems kuna kuti sekangothina pang'ono mpaka udzimangirira zimenezi tifuna tione kuti tutozitedza bwanji komanso tifuna tiyende kuyankhula napo financial discipline kuna kuti wena wamapesa tikukhala nazo ndalama koma osachita cha zero chenicheniya kuti ayi ndikadali mwana osagula malo ndikadali mwana osagula gali moto so titati tikhale pansi nkukonza ayi ndiona kuti Malawi wake ngoma ngwabwino zimenezi tikukhulupirira Malawi muli nazo bwino wati ndetutandizane kuti tifikire kutengemera.
Fantastic. I hear you say that you can also make a voice impression of the former president of the country, right?
Yeah, I can.
Now we are signing out. Would you have anything to tell Malawians?
Kumasoenda masemo ngamoto kenjona kuti tikwana kukoza sambeni tikoze monse tikoza monse mija kukoza mlembo tienda kunabwera kwambeni sikomo kwambeni.
Malumbo, it has been great talking to you here on Capital FM, and this is incredible art, and I believe you will be able to make a living out of this art, and I wish you all the best in your college tour. Thank you very much, and I wish you a lovely evening, and do keep it capital. There you have it. I've just had a conversation with Malumbo Ngayaye, and he is a third-year student at Mzuzu University. I am Victor Duffris. 12 minutes to 6, that is the time. And let us freshen a little bit with good music. And at 6 o'clock, we shall have our 6 o'clock news bulletin. That will be followed by our today's edition of the News Talk. Keep it capital.